So in the previous class, once recollect the previous class. In the last class, we have discussed about what is the definition of instrument, what is the definition of measurement, and then what is the definition of electronic measurement instruments, electronic measuring instruments, and then we have seen the block diagram. Just recollect those things. That is, so the measurement, which is nothing but a comparison between two quantities. One quantity is predefined quantity and another quantity is unknown quantity. The comparison between predefined standard quantity and unknown quantity, which is nothing but a measurement. Next, coming to the instrument, which is nothing but a device which is used to measure some physical quantity or electrical quantity. Okay, a device which is used to measure some physical quantity or electrical quantity is nothing but an instrument. All instruments, we can call it as a measuring instrument because each and every instrument can measure something. Therefore, each and every instrument can be called as a measuring instruments. By using the instruments, if you are measuring some electrical quantities, then we can call it as a electronic measurements. In general, the broadly instruments can be split as a three different types. One is monitoring of process and operations, and another one is control of process and operations, and another one is experimental engineering analysis. Coming to the first case, those instruments only monitors the things. They don't have capability of controlling. For example, if you see the thermometer, the thermometer is used to monitors the temperature of human body, but it cannot control temperature of human body. And coming to the next case, that is nothing but a control of process and operation. These instruments can control the things. For example, there is an air conditioner. By using the air conditioner, we can control the room temperature automatically. If the room temperature is increases, our defined level, let us say if it is at 24 degrees, we are setting the AC temperature is 24 degrees. If the room is cooled, or if the room temperature is 24 degrees, the AC will be automatically turned off. And if the room temperature is increases, then again AC will be turned on. That means the room temperature will be controlled by air conditioner. That is the second type of instruments. And coming to the last one, that is nothing but a experimental and engineering analysis. These are purely for the purpose of research and analyzing. These are the three instruments, three different types of instruments we have. And then we have seen the block diagram, basic block diagram for measuring system. Here there are different blocks like measurement, transducer, signal conditioning, and display or record. The measurement, it is a variable which is we are going to be measured. The which quantity we are going to be measured is called as a measurement. Obviously, the measurement is in a physical quantity. Therefore, that physical quantity should be converted into some electrical quantity. That's why we require some transducer. The transducer will converts energy from one form to another form. Here, the transducer will converts a physical quantity into electrical quantity. Then that electrical quantity is applied to the signal conditioning, where signal conditioning is nothing but a manipulating the signals. That is nothing but a, it may perform some amplification, or filtering operation or some conversions or any manipulation operation. After manipulation operation, the result may be displayed or recorded. This is the some basic schematic of the measuring systems. And then we are going to move the next topic, that is nothing but a performance characteristics. So we have an instrument. By using that instrument, we need to measure some quantity. So while measuring that quantity, we need to identify that two characteristics. One is static characteristics and another one is dynamic characteristics. By using these characteristics only, we can say that our measurement is proper, gives the proper value or improper value. By using the static characteristics and dynamic characteristics, we can say that our measurement value is either proper or improper. So this is done by only engineer. Okay. So this identification is done by only engineers. They can fix the static characteristic values and dynamic characteristic values. So now first we will see the static characteristics. We have a different static characteristics. Before that, just now I told that these characteristics values will be set by engineers. That means they can adjust these values. If any one value is adjusted to some fixed value, that concept is nothing but a calibration. So here I have given the definition. You can see that the calibration is the process of making an adjustment or making a scale so that the reading of an instrument is agree with some standard values. So here you can observe that the diagram which is shows that two instruments, the right side instrument is adjusted by, that is nothing but a calibrated by some calibrator. For suppose this, when we are not applying any input to this instrument, that is right side instrument, if we are not applying any input to this instrument, then obviously it should display the value is equals to 0. For suppose assume that this instrument is to measure the weight. If you are not giving any input, that means if you are not putting any weight on this instrument, obviously the instrument should display the value should be equals to 0 grams or 0 kg, whatever it is. If this instrument is displaying some value without keeping any weight on this instrument, if this instrument is showing some value, let us say 100 grams, that means that 100 grams should be adjusted to 0 grams, because there is no weight on the instrument. That means it should display the weight is equals to 0 grams, but due to some error it is displaying some value. Therefore, at that time, while manufacturing that device, the engineer will calibrate that value by using a proper calibrator. Okay. So after using, if any instrument used by user after few days, again that instrument may give some false result. At that time, again the engineer recalibrate that instrument. Okay. So now let us discuss about these two characteristics, that is static and dynamic characteristics. So first we'll discuss about the static characteristics. The static characteristics are nothing but the response of the instruments for slowly varying data. Or slowly varying means it is nothing but a time invariant data. We know that time invariant systems you have already studied. That is, it does not depends upon the time. Time invariant system you have already studied. The time invariant system is nothing but the output of the system does not depends upon the time. Whatever the variation in the input, the same variation should be present in the output also. That is nothing but a time invariant. So all these the static characteristics are nothing but a slowly varying data. In that one, under the static characteristics, we have a different terms. Those are nothing but a accuracy, resolution, precision, expected value, error, and sensitivity. Now let us discuss about all these characteristics, all these static characteristics in detail. The first one is nothing but a accuracy. So we heard the accuracy so many times. The accuracy is nothing but a. Before going to discuss about the accuracy, here in the instruments, the EMI subject, we will always remember one term, that is nothing but a expected value or true value. Expected value or true value. Generally, we will prefer it is a true value, where true value is nothing but a ideal value. If there is a let us say some voltage for our household purpose, we will get the voltage is equals to 230 volts AC power supply from the transformer. That means if there is no fluctuations, if there are no fluctuations in the power, then if you keep the voltmeter, AC voltmeter at the meter in our house, there is a current meter will be there at that meter. If you keep that voltmeter ideally should represent the value is equals to 240 volts AC power supply. If so, here the 240 volts we will call it as a true value or expected value. Ideally, from the transformer, our house in the house receives 240 volts power supply. Ideally, in the ideal case. That means if you are measuring that voltage, ideally it displays 240 volts. Okay, that is nothing but a true value or expected value. So by using that true value, we will define these characteristics, these terms. Okay, the first one is accuracy. The accuracy is nothing but the degree of exactness or closeness to the expected value or true value or desired value. So, example, just now we have discussed, the voltmeter should displace 240 volts, but now we can measure the voltmeter accuracy. That is, if the voltmeter is displaying some 250 volts, then the accuracy is less. The voltmeter accuracy is less because it should displace only 240 volts, but it is displaying some 250 volts. Sometimes it may displace 230 volts. Sometimes it may displace some other value. It means that the accuracy of the voltmeter is different, varies. So here I have measured, I have indicated some other example also. You can see that there is assume that there is a 100 volts voltmeter. When designing this voltmeter, the manufacturer gives that the accuracy of this voltmeter is equals to plus or minus 1%. That means it may not be exactly displays the true value. There should be some variation. That variation is equals to plus or minus 1% of the 100 volts. In the 100 volts, the plus or minus 1% means it is equals to plus or minus 1 volt. That means if I want to measure some 10 volts, it may be displays, the voltmeter may be displays either 9 volts or 11 volts. Irrespective of the displaying the 10 volts, it may be displays either 9 volts or 11 volts, because the accuracy of this voltmeter is given by plus or minus 1% by the manufacturer. If that accuracy is equals to 0%, then that voltmeter can exactly displace our expected value or true value. So one more thing, you can see the read the definition. That is, the accuracy indicates, here I have given two definitions. One definition is the degree of exactness or closeness of a measurement compared to the expected value, which is one definition. And another definition is the accuracy indicates the maximum error. The accuracy indicates the maximum error which will not be exceeded as issued by manufacturer of the instrument. So here the manufacturer gives the accuracy is equals to plus or minus 1%. That plus or minus 1% should not be exceeded. And this accuracy, the term accuracy can be explained as also conforming to the truth. That is, truth is nothing but either expected value or desired value or true value, which is nothing but accuracy. And then we will see the next characteristic, that is nothing but resolution. Here the resolution is nothing but the smallest change in a measured variable to which an instrument will respond. That is, the meaning of that one is, I am going to measure some 100 millivolts. I am going to measure 100 millivolts. By using this 100 voltmeter, is it possible to measure 100 millivolts? Obviously it is no, because you can see that in the 100 volts voltmeter, we can observe that the indication is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 volts, and in between two values, that is 0 and 20, we can observe that only 10 lines are available. That means if that means that each line indicates that 2 volts. So now if you apply 100 millivolts, and again if you want to measure that 100 millivolts by using this voltmeter, 100 volts voltmeter, obviously it is impossible, because the needle won't be deflect. It cannot be read the values. For that one, in the place of 100 volt voltmeter, we need to use some millivolts voltmeter. Then only that particular voltmeter can measure the value. So here the resolution is defined as, here we have a needle, in this voltmeter we have a needle. The minimum input applied to this voltmeter to deflect the needle, that is nothing but a resolution. So again here I have a example in this one, that is if you are applying 0.5 volts to this voltmeter, that in this voltmeter I want to measure 0.5 volts by using this 100 volt voltmeter. If the needle is deflects, initially it will be placed in 0. When we are applying 0.5 volts to the particular circuit, and if you are connecting this voltmeter to that circuit, if the needle is deflects, if the needle is where it changes from 0th position to some other position, then we can say that the resolution of this voltmeter is equals to 0.5 volts. Again we can say that, or otherwise we can define the resolution as the minimum input, to change the needle. Here in this example, the minimum input, the minimum voltage to change the needle, to deflect the needle, that minimum input is nothing but a resolution. Assume that for this 100 volts voltmeter, 0.5 volts is a minimum input to change the voltmeter reading. Therefore, for this one, the resolution is equals to 0.5 volts. Or any other equipment. So we have a assume that I am going to identify the current reading by using 1 ampere ammeter. In that one we can measure milliamperes also. Therefore I am saying that for 1 ampere ammeter, the resolution is equals to 1 milliamperes. That means by using that ammeter, we can measure the value of 1 milliamperes. Okay, ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ని యూజ్ చేసి మనం ఎంత మినిమం వాల్యూని ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలమో దాన్నే మనం రిజల్యూషన్ కూడా అనొచ్చు. ఏదైనా ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ని యూజ్ చేసి మనం ఎంత మినిమం వాల్యూని మెజర్ చేయగలమో, we can say that minimum value is nothing but a resolution. Okay, now we'll move the next characteristic, which is nothing but a precision. Here the precision is nothing but a consistency. So here you can see that there is a two examples, two diagrams, two figures here. That is hitting the target by using some arrows. In the first figure, when I am throwing the arrows, in each and every time it is placed in different positions, different places. My target is to hit the center point of this circle, but one time in each and every time it is placed in different positions. So then I can say that my precision is very less, because I am repeatedly doing the same experiment. The experiment is throwing the arrow. If it is placed in same position, if my arrow is placed in the same position, then we can say that it is nothing but a more precise. If it is placed in different positions, then we can say that it is very less precise. So you can see that in the first example, it is very less precise, because at each and every time it is the arrow is placed in different positions. And in the second example, second diagram, you can see that all the arrows are placed at same position. Therefore, it is having more precise. So here the definition for this precision is a measure of the consistency or repeatability of measurements. That is, successive reading do not differ. In the successive operations, it should give the same value. Then we can say that it is a more precise. Or otherwise, we can also define the precision is the consistency of the instrument output for a given input. So for this one, we'll see the another example. In this example, I want to place some resistors, some few number of resistors in this center circle. I am going to place some components, whatever it is the component, I want to place the components in this center circle by using some robo. నేను ఒక రోబోని యూజ్ చేసి ఈ సెంటర్ సర్కిల్లో నా దగ్గర ఉన్న కాంపోనెంట్స్ అన్నిటిని ప్లేస్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. At that time, here I am using 4 different robots. In the robot 1 done the operation, but we can see that my components are, the robot 1 is placed, my components are different positions. ఇక్కడ 4 సర్కిల్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటే, రోబో 1 ఏం చేసింది, కొన్ని సర్కిల్స్ లో కొన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ని, ఒక సర్కిల్లో ఫస్ట్ సర్కిల్లో కొన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ని, సెకండ్ సర్కిల్లో కొన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ని, థర్డ్ సర్కిల్లో కొన్ని, ఫోర్త్ సర్కిల్లో కొన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ని పెట్టింది. సో I can say that my goal is to place all the components in the 4th circle. Center లో ఉన్న సర్కిల్లో అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ని పెట్టాలి. అది నేను రోబోకి ఇచ్చిన ఆర్డర్. కానీ ఫస్ట్ రోబో ఏం చేసింది, ఫస్ట్ సర్కిల్లో కొన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ని పెట్టింది, సెకండ్ సర్కిల్లో ఒక కాంపోనెంట్ని పెట్టింది, థర్డ్ సర్కిల్లో 2 కాంపోనెంట్స్ని, ఫోర్త్ సర్కిల్లో ఒక కాంపోనెంట్ని పెట్టింది. కానీ రోబోకి నేను ఇచ్చిన ఆర్డర్ ఏంటి అంటే నువ్వు అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ని సెంటర్ సర్కిల్లో పెట్టు అని చెప్పాను. సో హియర్ మై రోబో ఫెయిల్స్ ఇన్ 2 కేసెస్. ఫస్ట్ కేసు ఏంటి, ఎందులో ఫెయిల్ అయింది అంటే యాక్యురసీలోని ఫెయిల్ అయింది, ప్రెసిషన్లో కూడా ఫెయిల్ అయింది. అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఒకే దగ్గర పెట్టడం అనేది ప్రెసిషన్. అది కరెక్ట్ ప్లేస్లోనా రాంగ్ ప్లేస్లో అనేది తర్వాత ఇష్యూ. అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ని సేమ్ ఒకే ప్లేస్లో పెట్టడం అనేది ప్రెసిషన్. అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ని నేను ఇచ్చిన ప్లేస్లో, నేను డిసైడ్ చేసిన ప్లేస్లో పెట్టడం అనేది యాక్యురసీ. సో మై ఫస్ట్ రోబో ఫెయిల్స్ ఇన్ బోత్ కేసెస్. Now you can see that second robo. The second robo places all the components are at same place lo pettindi, oke daggara pettindi. That means it is a high precision, but it fails accuracy. Accuracy means నేను ఏ ప్లేస్లో అయితే చెప్పానో అదే ప్లేస్లో పెట్టాలి. ఎక్కడ చెప్పాం మనం, ఫోర్త్ సర్కిల్లో పెట్టమని చెప్పాం. కానీ ద సెకండ్ రోబో ప్లేసెస్ ద కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఫస్ట్ సర్కిల్ అండ్ సెకండ్ సర్కిల్. ఇట్ పాసెస్ ద ప్రెసిషన్ టెస్ట్ బట్ ఇట్ ఫెయిల్స్ ద యాక్యురసీ టెస్ట్. నౌ విల్ గో ఫర్ ద థర్డ్ diagram. For the third diagram you can see that all the components are placed nearest to the fourth circle, but the components are not placed at same position. ఒకే పొజిషన్లో పెట్టడంలో ఫెయిల్ అయింది, కానీ అన్ని కాంపోనెంట్స్ని ఫోర్త్ సర్కిల్కి దగ్గరలో పెట్టింది. సో while discussed about the accuracy, we have mentioned that the manufacturer may give some percentage of error. అక్కడ ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో కూడా చూసాం, 100 volts voltmeter may have the accuracy is plus or minus 1%. So by using that we can say that the third robo is accurate but it is low precise. ఎందుకంటే ఒక్క కాంపోనెంట్ ఒక్క ప్లేస్లో పెట్టింది, అన్నిటినీ మనకి ఒకే ప్లేస్లో పెడితే హై ప్రిసిషన్ ఉంటుంది, కానీ ఒక్క కాంపోనెంట్ని డిఫరెంట్ పొజిషన్లో పెట్టింది కనుక విచ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఏ లో ప్రిసిషన్, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ హై యాక్యురసీ. Coming to the next diagram, in this one the robo 4 places all components at the same position as well as my target place. My target place is fourth circle and all the components are placed in same positions. Therefore we can say that the robo 4 is having accurate and also precise. So by using this diagram we may have some idea about accuracy